Hello, and welcome back to the Peculiar Place podcast.
This is the segment Two Vees in a Pod, and we're your hostesses. I'm Mandii.
And I'm Jessii. And Mandi's back. She had to skip a week for not so great reasons.
Yes, COVID struck my household hardcore.
After Easter.
For a good 3 weeks. Well, okay, I don't know if I had COVID, to be fair. I was a little bit sick the week before, but I never had a cough.
Yeah.
I never had a fever, nothing. I just thought it was like a regular cold.
Or allergies or something.
And then Easter came and went, and then Ophi got so sick. She was coughing, she was congested, she was sneezing, she was wheezing when she breathed. I actually had to go to the ER with her one morning because I was so worried about the way that she was breathing and the coughing, and she had a fever, a high fever.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
So they went there, they tested her for all kinds of things, and she came back positive for COVID, but it wasn't as bad enough to keep her in the hospital, so they just sent us home with ways of treating her.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next week Luca started getting sick. Both her and I started feeling better. He started getting sick, and then he got COVID, and he was coughing, sneezing, everything, the whole thing, and it was just sickness in the house. It sucked.
Do they see babies really quickly in the...
Yes.
They do?
That I'm very thankful for, because with small children like that, because she was only 2 months.
Yeah.
Small children like that with coughs and fevers, that stuff can escalate quickly.
Yeah, it's an emergency for sure.
Yeah, it was my first experience in a hospital with an infant.
Mm-hmm.
And doctors definitely took it very seriously.
That's good.
So, yeah.
That's awesome. And now she's all good. She's breathing better.
Yeah,
she's healthy.
Everyone's better. Everyone's better.
That's good.
There's no more COVID in my house.
That's so scary.
So
you were sending me the
done
audio clips of her breathing, and I was like,
oh no.
It's
So scary.
Yeah.
Wasn't fun.
Okay, so all is good in that department, which I'm so glad about. We just want to remind you guys about Patreon. We are doing a clip this week. This is such a weird clip.
Cringe.
Mandii used to have friends who were werewolves and vampires.
And goddesses.
And goddesses.
Mm-hmm.
And this is not a joke. It's serious. So we're gonna do a Patreon clip talking about that. It is the most bizarre thing. The fact that I still remember this to this day, and this was 15 years ago, right?
We were too old to be playing games like that.
Yeah.
It was grade 7.
Yeah.
And there was a whole backstory. There was a whole reason. There's a whole explanation.
It's a lot.
It's actually unbelievable. I could probably write a book.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Okay. So
they were convincing. They were very convincing. I'll say that.
Yeah, I remember you being a kid and telling me that your friends were werewolves, and I was like, what do you mean? And you're like, no,
okay,
seriously.
The day that they told me, though, I'm not going to dive too much into it, but the day that they told me, because it was a huge secret, they didn't tell me for a year. It was serious. I had to gain their trust.
It's like a CW show.
Yeah. I remember Dad picked me up that day, and he just laughed and laughed. I was like, Dad, this is so weird. And I told him, and we just laughed the whole way home. And then, for the rest of, the year, he was like, okay, just, talk to them about it, and then tell me, whatever, I pick you up.
You were giving him the inside scoop.
And then I would, pretend to believe them, and then, get in the car when he picked me up, and I'd be like, oh, my God, you have no idea what they said to me today.
Oh, man. So if you want that whole story time, it's going to be up on Patreon as our exclusive clip this week. Link down below, or go to www.patreon.com/peculiarplacepodcast.
Wild.
Okay, so a little health update on me. I'm going to make it quick because you know when you have so much wrong with you and you eventually feel like people are just what now, Jessii? It's just annoying.
No.
I feel like I've lost friends because of that.
Okay, not good friends.
Obviously not. So, update. If you guys have been, around since the fall, I had my wisdom teeth out twice, had pain, had all kinds of issues, went to the hospital 80 times. So I had my CBCT scan about 8 weeks ago now. And it's kind of the middle of being an X-ray and a CT. And you can really see what the bones look like in your jaw and where the extraction site was. So I got my results back a few days ago, and I found out I have what's called osteomyelitis, which is a bone infection. And it's so strange because on the right side where he took out the wisdom tooth, all that bone that he chipped away at and, you know, the hole that was left behind, it hasn't healed. So you can see in my CT, and I was looking at the images, it literally, that bucket that's left from when your wisdom tooth is out, it didn't fill in. So new bone didn't grow, the gums didn't even really come in properly. So I have the same hole that I had from back in October, and my left side is healing a lot better. So usually when you have that like gap of bone, it's because there's infection there that's stopping the bone from growing. So they're thinking I have osteomyelitis, which is actually a really severe infection. A lot of people are hospitalized, and it scared me because he was like, you know, usually like you're like 6 or 7 months post-op, and usually in these cases people are in the hospital like getting IV antibiotics, and I'm like,
But
am
you
I
did
okay?
That, though. Didn't you do that?
I didn't get IV antibiotics. I just got like long term, like for a month I was on
Oh,
oral.
like pills. Okay.
But he was like, yeah, usually people are like
Oh my God.
in the hospital. I'm like, am I going to be okay, sir? And he's like, we're going to refer you to an infectious disease specialist, which is basically like people you go to when you can't get rid of a bacteria. Like your body is not able to like get rid of it. So that's my next steps. I'm supposed to go on antibiotics this week.
That's good though. Sucks that it like took this long, but
at least I know that that's probably where most of my pain's coming from.
yeah.
So if we can nip this in the bud, it's just that like if the bone doesn't regrow, I'll probably have to get like a bone graft, and like they'll have to go back in, and like it's just a nightmare. If you're ever thinking of getting your wisdom teeth out, look up the damn oral surgeon. Like second page of Google, look up. Because like I really didn't do a good job of researching, because you just trust your dentist.
I never ever
exactly
researched any surgeon that I ever had ever.
You have trust in the medical,
Except for my OB. He did a good job.
just always look up who's going to be doing your shit, you know, because I have major regrets. I should have never even gotten the surgery.
Think of all things, your wisdom teeth surgery is going to be a problem.
It's the most common surgery like in the world.
And like relatively quick, easy. You go home the next day or that day.
Yeah.
It's
bizarre.
It's supposed to be
anyway,
pretty chill.
So, bone infection. Love it. Hopefully I'll get better soon. Okay.
Pray for Jessii.
Yeah, please pray for me. And I appreciate, I actually asked for prayers last week when I was talking about my chest issue, all the issues. So I appreciate you guys for praying for me. So Mandii watched Quiet on Set. We talked about that a couple weeks ago. It's just like showing the dark side of children's entertainment, right? Like the Amanda Show, all that, Zoe 101, iCarly, stuff like that. The kids were put in really awkward situations. So you watched it after I did.
Yeah.
And what were your thoughts on it?
I was horrified.
Yeah.
Horrified.
It's brutal.
I still think about it. There was a part in it, I think it might have been like literally the second episode. And it was with, I forget what his name was, but it was the first pedophile that they had shown, which is the one that he like admitted that he was.
Yeah.
And he like went to jail or whatever. But when they were describing him and what he was doing and the things he would like journal and keep in his house and all of those things, like I almost had to turn it off. Obviously, this kind of thing would affect anybody watching it negatively. Mm-hmm. But when you have a kid of your own...
I was about to ask that. How is that watching it? Because...
it's almost unbearable. Like, I don't know how else to describe it. It's unbearable to listen to it, to watch it. But, like, this is real life. And these are people's stories. And, like, this is something that needs to be spoken about and understood. Yeah. And it's so important that these kids' stories are told as well and their experiences. So I feel like I need to educate myself and like watch these things just to like be aware of the world and that we live in and whatever. And actually after watching this show, it's a little bit unrelated, but it still has something to do with like children being like abused and like sexualized and whatever. Like I told Luca, I'm like, I would like to give some sort of support and like money towards like some sort of like really well-known good charity that would help like support child trafficking, like saving them and whatever, because all of that just, it freaks me out so bad. And it's such a problem. There's so much of it in this world and like people don't like talk about it enough, I guess, because it makes people feel uncomfortable. But like imagine those kids. Like, imagine, like, the parents of those kids. And, like, it happens, like, as young as, like, newborn.
No, I know. It's
Babies.
so disturbing.
Babies.
Yeah.
So when I see her and I listen to these stories, like, I just see her every time. And I'm like, oh, my God, what would I do? Like, how would I feel? Like, it's, like, unbearable. But then on the other hand, that show is, like, our childhood. Like, we watched these kids. We grew up with these kids. We watched them. We loved the shows. We loved them. We never noticed or saw anything weird or sexual because we were kids.
Well, yeah, the innocence of a child's mind, right?
So pure and so innocent. And now looking back, some of the scenes that they were showing, I was like,
I know.
It's like pornographic and uncomfortable to even watch at all. Just the fact that they even are showing some of the scenes, which, I mean, they should, because we need to see, like, how problematic Dan Schneider is, right? And what he was creating subliminally for kids. And I guess, like, adult content as well for the adults watching, for whatever reason. And then hearing the story of, what's his name? Drake Bell? Is that his name?
Drake Bell.
Oh, my God. Listening to his story, terrifying, horrifying. I was up all night thinking about it. All I could think about was actually, because I watched a documentary about John Wayne Gacy, and one of the survivors of John Wayne Gacy was talking about how he would sleep over at John Wayne Gacy's house. He would wake up in the middle of the night to John Wayne Gacy, like, in his room, or, like, coming on to him, whatever. And then him being like, well, what the get off of me, kind of thing. And he would be like, oh, haha, like, it's a joke, like, whatever. I think that happened, like, twice to him, and then he never, like, went back.
Yeah.
But hearing that, and then also him having some sort of connection, and then him doing that to Drake Bell, it just creeped me out. Just the similarity of it.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Drake being, like, a child, unable to defend himself or stand up for himself or stop the situation because they're just kids, right?
It's really sad. We were talking about how, like, you don't really grow up properly when you have something like that happen to you as a kid.
You're stunted. Like, you literally...
It's
mentally
trauma. Yeah. You bring it with you to your adulthood. And I was telling you how, I mean, Drake Bell has had a drug issue for quite a long time.
So sad.
And I think it was pretty recently, maybe in the past year or so, he was caught out in a parking lot in his car with his kids in the backseat. And he was doing whippets, I believe was what it's called. It's like where you're, like, inhaling some sort of... substance, and it makes you really, really high for a short period of time, and then you just keep doing it. But he had his kids in the back seat, and, like, all these paparazzi were taking pictures of him, like, doing it in the front seat and then picking up his kids, and, like, it's disturbing. And it just shows you, like, you're, like, stunted. Like, he probably shouldn't have had kids until he fully came to terms with what he's been through, right? Like, it's scary.
That's what's so sad about it. It's like, you feel bad for him because that never should have happened to him, and of course that's going to affect him in his adult life. But those kids, I mean, they're innocent children. Anybody who has some kind of trauma in their life that has affected the way they are as an adult, like, they need to work on themselves and deal with that before parenting children, because it's not their fault and it's not their, you know what I mean? That's not their story. They deserve a father that is not putting them at any kind of risk, especially being behind the wheel when he's doing it.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
There's
so
just
scary.
no good excuse for me. Like, I know it sounds kind of harsh, but it's just, there's no good excuse to not be responsible with your kids.
Yeah.
I don't care. You could have, like, the worst thing happen to you in your life and be the best parent ever. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, there's just no good excuse. In saying that, obviously, I feel horrible for him, and I feel so sad that he feels like he has to do drugs to, like, deal with life. Yeah. That's terrible.
I know.
But, come on, like, those kids, like, they don't deserve that either.
Anyways, if you haven't seen it, watch the documentary. It is so insightful. It makes you look at just, honestly, like, everything in the entertainment industry differently.
It makes me also want to learn more about Amanda Bynes. Because they, like, touched on Amanda... and she was just such a talent.
Mm-hmm. The solar eclipse, did you look at it?
Mm-hmm.
With glasses?
Yeah.
So obviously, and I knew this was going to be a thing, people are now coming out saying that they're having some sort of vision loss, probably from not wearing the glasses, right? Just going outside, looking up. People are now complaining about having like a black spot like in their vision wherever they look.
Oh my gosh.
I actually didn't even go outside. I closed all the curtains. We like hid in the house. Even like before the eclipse was happening, like in the morning, I was like, we can't like go outside. Like I am so paranoid. Whoa. So like, yeah, we filmed like a vlog of us like inside, like being scared.
Aww.
And it got really dark where we were. Mm-hmm. But we also turned off all the lights just to see how dark it would get.
Mm-hmm.
And it was pretty scary. But no, I didn't look. Which is kind of sad because like we're not getting another one until I think
it was cloudy. It was
2044. Yeah, it was a cloudy day, but that really sucked. Just curious if you looked or if you're paranoid like I am.
I looked.
Okay. And you feel great.
I feel fine.
Okay. You can see?
I was nervous too. I felt like it was a Jordan Peele movie that day. I just felt like something was gonna fall from the sky. The alien invasion was gonna begin. I wasn't sure how to process just because the buildup of it. And then on social media, everyone being like, oh, like the businesses are shutting down and the public transit is shutting down. I'm thinking like it's a 4-minute thing in the day. Why is transit shutting down? Like I didn't understand the buildup.
Yeah.
And because I was off that day and Luca was working, I actually drove to mom and dad's house because I was scared. I didn't want to be alone.
Yeah.
They were so excited and they had the news on and they were like showing people in Niagara, people in out east and like in Texas and all of the places, and everyone was so excited and it was like kind of like better vibes.
Yeah.
And then as it was happening, Dad was outside looking at it. He's like, you have to come see. Otherwise I wouldn't have given a shit to look. But like then I went and I looked, and that's Dad influenced me to look.
Yeah, he's intense.
Yeah, he is.
He was in the best way, but like he
is intense.
He's intense. He was sending me like all the photos and stuff. And yeah, it was good. Did you hear about that mother who killed her family during the eclipse?
What the?
She is an astrologist, or was an astrologist. I think she died.
I'm so creeped out.
And she went onto Twitter the days leading up to the eclipse, and in capital letters, like, she was just saying all these weird things, like, this is the end, like, are you all ready for the end, like, open your eyes, and blah, 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 and, like, she was into astrology and all kinds of, like, weird stuff like that. No offense. It's not weird. It's not weird, but...
It's a bit weird.
Well, it's a bit weird when you are intense like that. Like, relax, you know? So she was, like, tweeting all these weird things, like, very, like, I don't know, like, her mind was open. Like, you know when people kind of go on, like, a religious, manic... state, you know what I mean?
That's scary.
Yeah, and so during the eclipse, she killed her husband and took her kids out on the highway and tossed them out of the car. And then she drove into a wall or something. So they all died. Yeah, it's crazy.
She tossed them out of the car?
Yeah, on the highway. And I think the toddler actually survived, but the little baby did not.
No.
I'm sorry.
Baby.
Yeah.
Not the baby.
I know. And people are blaming, like, people who believe in astrology, but it's like, this is a manic state.
No, that's...
You're in a manic... You're in psychosis or something.
Yeah.
For sure.
Definitely experiencing psychosis, for sure.
Yeah, I wonder if it was, like, a postpartum thing. I don't know.
The baby.
Yeah. Anyway, the Amy Winehouse movie.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Okay, wait, though. Everyone needs to know that Mandii is a super fan of Amy Winehouse, okay? A movie's coming out. It's, I don't know who the actress is, but they're making an Amy Winehouse movie about her life and her fame. TikTok is not very happy about it because some clips have come out and the music...
It's horrible. It is horrible.
Yeah.
She sounds like Jessii J.
Yeah, she does.
She sounds like Jessii J.
She does.
Listen, I encourage... any and all of you who don't know Amy Winehouse that well or are curious, want to watch something, watch Amy, the documentary.
Because it's actually her.
It's fantastic. It's how I fell in love with her. It explains her life. It explains her writing, her songs, the music, things she went through. Because when she passed away, I was in high school, and all I ever knew about Amy Winehouse at that time was that she was an alcoholic, drug addict, unhinged, unwell, and she died. Yeah. And that was it. After I watched this documentary, I felt like I really got to know her, like, soul and how sensitive and how beautiful of a human she was, but also how heartbroken and how damaged she was, and her home life, her family life, her relationship with her dad, her relationship with her husband that introduced her to the drugs and all of those things. Like, also like social media and the news that would like make fun of her and mock her, and the paparazzi that was just like completely crazy, and like probably a lot of the reason why she was, you know, off her rocker all the time, because she couldn't handle the pressure and the anxiety that came with like the crazy amounts of paparazzi that was like following her everywhere.
Yeah.
And then to see this movie come out, the trailer, and that woman, the way she's singing, and she just looks like such like a pop, like, oh, let's go. Like, no, she was one of a kind.
What if they do the story right, but it's just the music that sucks? But that's the whole point, isn't it? That it's
the
she's
music
a good
is
singer.
so important.
Yeah.
I feel like, you know what? Can we stop making these movies where the actors sing with their voices? Can we just use the person that they're playing as their voice in the original songs?
Yeah, why wouldn't they just do that? That would have been great.
Can we do that? Because if the movie, it's like Elton John. If the movie is about Elton John, use his voice.
That's so
if
true.
the movie is about Elvis, use his voice.
Right.
If the movie is about Amy freaking Winehouse, use her voice.
But also, like, they've done a bunch of documentaries on her. Why not leave it at that? I mean, that's true to her life. Why do we need this weird fictionalized movie? It's so
kind
weird.
of icky. It's like if they were to do it about Kurt Cobain too, because the thing is,
I'm surprised they haven't.
Kurt Cobain and Amy Winehouse, those are two people that I think would have hated this. Like,
Yeah.
they would have hated having a movie
About their downfall.
like acting
Yeah.
as them. And like, so what, she's gonna like act out that like last performance that Amy
Yeah,
Winehouse
is
had?
that
Like, she's
even-
gonna act, that's disturbing to me.
Yeah, is that even morally...
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's talk about ethics again.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, I'm all for like documentaries being well done.
Yeah.
You know? Because I feel like there's a lot of Kurt Cobain documentaries that aren't well done. I feel like the Amy one was so good, but I think Amy's last years and like the last like weeks and days following her
brutal.
death were incredibly disturbing.
Yeah. And they're just gonna...
And
show
nobody,
that.
and it really shows you how alone she really was, because she never should have been pushed to perform the way that she was.
No, like, all of her staff
She
and
needed
people
help.
who work with her...
Her dad.
Well, her dad didn't... He just cared about her money, right? Her fame and everything. He was messed up.
There were so many things that her dad
Yeah.
took her out of peaceful situations that she just needed.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, you need to.
But even the men she dated were enabling.
But that's what I mean. Like,
Everyone around her
yeah.
was enabling and just...
Nobody was there for her like they should have been. Like, physically, like, take her off the stage. Like, seriously. There's moments where she was, like, sleeping, drunk, and whatever, and they would carry her to the stage.
Yeah, I know.
And, like, push her on. And that's why at the end she was, like, not even really singing, because she was like, I don't even want to be here.
Yeah.
I'm being forced to be here. Like, she had resentment.
Yeah. It's so sad.
And the crowd would boo her. Like, it's so disturbing. And they're going to act this out with this Jessii J looking chick.
So you're not going to watch it anymore? Or are you going to watch
I'm not going to meet your mother.
It's so bad.
I just want to grip your body over mine. It's awful.
I know.
And she's so amazing. Anyway, sorry, I just like took over.
Yeah.
But I felt like I needed to.
Yeah.
But
Fair
I
enough.
feel very
You're the fan.
strongly about this.
I think she is amazing music. I'm not a fan. I just appreciate her.
I
That's
love
all.
her.
Everyone's freaking out in the news because it's just come out that Lunchables contain a very, very high amount of lead.
Not surprised.
I'm not surprised, but also, like, you're making these things for kids because
You
you don't
don't
have
think
to put
about
lead
what's-
in it. Like, you can just not put lead in it.
But think about all the kids, things that are like advertised for kids consumption and like to catch kids' eyes and whatever. It's full of sugar. It's full of shit.
Yeah.
Like, seriously. I was talking to Luca because as soon as she turns 6 months plus, she gets to start eating soft foods.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not buying baby food. I'm going to make my own purees.
Oh, yeah. I just saw some mother on TikTok who was talking about how she was giving her baby, was it like a Gerber's?
Cereal.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Oh, cereal? Oh, did you see that one too?
Gerber. Yeah, it was a Gerber
And all
cereal.
of a sudden they're like growth stunted.
Yep.
Like, and they weren't talking as much anymore, and they weren't like making noise and moving around, and like she was saying it's because, was there lead in it or something weird in the ingredients?
I think lead, yeah.
It's like, don't put that in there.
And as soon as she stopped giving it to him,
No, but I would love to know
was fine.
what the reasoning is for putting lead in food, because it comes out all the time like, oh, this had lead. Why? Who's putting it in?
I think the lead comes from other things, though. I think lead comes from like packaging, from maybe the factories, like just
Okay.
sometimes it's like things that they just don't care enough to avoid.
Yeah.
It's not like they're taking lead as an
Oh
ingredient.
yeah, like why is there lead in the food?
No, they're just not taking precautionary steps to prevent it. You know what I mean?
Okay, true.
They just don't care enough.
We used to eat Lunchables once a week. Remember, every Friday?
Yeah, it
And
was like a special.
I like the pizza one.
Have you heard the reason why millennials are so obsessed with charcuterie boards is because of Lunchables?
Really?
Yeah, because we're the generation that grew up with Lunchables and loving Lunchables.
That's
and
true.
we loved
the little meat on the crackers.
The crackers, the cheese, the meat.
Yeah.
And apparently that's why, like, charcuterie for millennials, we go nuts.
I love that.
We go nuts, and it's because of Lunchables.
It's like nostalgic.
Yeah.
I never thought of it that way.
Yeah.
Anyway, be careful about Lunchables. Do you have a smartphone, Pinky?
Yes, I do.
Like,
Oh, yours is bad.
mine is so bad. I didn't know these were a thing until I saw someone
Oh my
talking
god,
about
Jess,
it.
yours is really bad.
I know.
Mine's so, like, minimal.
You don't even have one. It's like the
It's an
tiniest
indent.
dip.
That's so bad. Are you on your phone all day?
Like, do you hold your phone like that?
Yes.
I guess my bone is just more malleable.
You are like a social media person. Like you are
No, but I'm not-
influencer.
Mandy, I read for 9 hours of the day. Like, I don't...
I was just thinking, you read, and I wonder if that has anything like the book.
Is the
like holding a
book.
book. The extra weight.
Because they're heavy.
Your Kindle.
My hardcovers
And the Kindle.
and the Kindle. That's possible. Because I don't think it used to be like this. That's crazy. Did you see the dip?
So
It's like...
bad.
But my phone sits so well. I don't need a pop socket. Like, this is my pop socket.
Stop. I can't. That's disgusting.
Someone else must have something that's this extreme. Now you're making me feel weird about it. This side's...
It's that side's more like mine, I feel like. Whoa. Oh my god. The difference.
Okay, relax.
The difference. Oh my god, Shane Dawson was right about the Mandii character that we're all going to turn into.
Should I go on his podcast and show them my pinky?
Yeah, Shane Dawson.
You know what? I should email him. You know how he has the email? And I should be like, I have, what's it called? Smartphone pinky.
You should smartphone
The
pinky.
worst
I'm
smartphone
becoming Mandii.
Okay. I'm going to email him.
You should.
Yeah.
Hey, Shane.
So, you didn't watch The Golden Bachelor, did you?
No, I didn't. I heard a lot about it, though.
Okay, so the couple is already divorcing
No.
3 months after their wedding.
Oh, I heard they were, like, so perfect together.
They're so cute. Like,
so why?
it's because they both live in different states.
Oh, see, that's why Love is Blind is better, because they, like, choose people that live together, like, in the same city.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
that's way better.
Yeah.
So they both live in different states, and they both have such closely formed families and grandkids. So they were both like, well, I'm not moving. So, like, they just couldn't come
Like-
to terms with who's going to be moving, which is so sad. But also at the same time, like, if you're not willing to move, don't go on the show.
Yeah.
If you're just not willing at all, what's the point of going on the show?
Yeah.
I don't get that. Like, you should be fully open to, like, doing whatever. And, like, they'll say that while they're on the show. Like, I'll do anything for love. But when it comes down to it, they're like, yeah, so you're moving to me then? Like, you know what I mean? And it's like an impasse. And it sucks because they're both old. You want to die alone?
I know, I was just thinking that.
I mean, that's really harsh. But, like,
No, but it's true, though. You're choosing your grandkids over your love life.
where else are you really going to find, you know, that they're in love? And, like, they even said, like, on whatever they were on, Good Morning America or whatever, they're like, we're still in love. And it's like, but you're not then.
Yeah.
If you're in love, like, you're going to find a way to make it work. Meet halfway. Like, do something.
See you on the weekends.
Yeah, but that's hard too.
Yeah, but if you really love somebody enough.
But they didn't even try. It's 3 months after. At least do long distance for a little while or something.
Is this hurting your head too?
Yeah, it is.
Same. Why is it hurting today?
I'm like trying to move it around.
Subtly.
Yeah, it's like there's like
you
a
know what
band
it is?
of
You know
hurt.
what it is? I think this part, like the ear parts, are heavier than the top, and it creates a weight. It weights on our heads.
Oh my gosh, Mandii. I have to show you a photo.
It hurts so bad.
Did you see that Twitch streamer?
Yes, Shane showed it on his podcast. That was horrible.
He took off his headphones and it was an index.
That's gonna be you, like.
Do you remember?
Pinkies up.
Remember when I fell down the stairs? And you and Dad were like right there, and I like kind of screamed as I went down, and I started crying. And Dad walked up to me, and he was like, because my hand hurt, and he was like, "Is anything broken?" And he was like doing this with my finger, and
He's like, "It's broken. It's broken."
But I have like, what's it called? Hyperextension. So I have like weird, like my finger moves weird, and he was like, "Oh my God, it's broken." Does yours do that?
No.
If you're a listener, this awkward silence is because we're trying to
Wait,
move our
can I
pinky.
do it to you to see if it feels broken? Ew.
It's not ew. It's my finger. Like, ew.
Ew.
Okay.
We need to get new headphones.
But
Seriously.
like, it doesn't usually hurt.
It usually hurts, but not as much as it is today.
Did you loosen it?
I've been loosening it.
I don't know. So, Patrick Swayze's widow, Lisa, says that he gave her his blessing to remarry in a dream. And it's interesting because she was saying how, like, she sees him in dreams often. And usually, like, he's just kind of standing there. He doesn't really do much. Like, she just sees him, and it's, like, a good presence. But, like, in this specific dream, because she's fallen in love with someone else, and I think she wants to, like, get married or something, he, like, actually came to her and was like, I know you still love me, and it's okay to, like, move on, and, like... And she said that, like, he hugged her, and, like, it felt like, what's it called? Like, permission.
He's so hot.
He was. What?
I don't know. I felt like you were saying that weird. He was.
No, he was. He died.
I know.
That's
but
why he's in a
I
dream.
just say he's hot, and you're like he was.
He was, because he died.
I know.
No, like, respectfully, he was hot.
He is hot. I just watched Dirty Dancing recently, and
Yeah.
he's something.
Nice to look at. Ty actually likes that movie, which I'm surprised, because, like, I showed it to him, and I'm like, he's just not gonna like it. He loves it. We've watched it, like, twice together. He wants to watch it again. Like, he likes Dirty Dancing. Yeah. Is that weird?
A little bit.
I know,
He's
but
into dancing.
I think it's because he likes that time period of music and stuff. So I think
does
he just,
okay,
like...
I didn't know that about him.
Oh, yeah.
He likes the 80s?
Oh, yeah. 70s, 80s.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah, so I think he just kind of jams out while we're watching it. But he also likes Sound of Music a lot. So, like, I think...
Luca likes Sound of Music
I think
as well.
he likes... And he likes Les Mis and stuff. I think he likes,
same with
like...
Luca.
I don't know if he likes musicals, but there's certain things, like, he likes Sweeney Todd. So maybe he does like musicals. I don't know, but...
Aw.
Yeah.
He likes musicals.
Yeah. What he doesn't like is horror movies, and tomorrow I asked him if he'd go see the new horror movie Sting with me. It's about a spider. It's actually... We're going to put a poster up on the screen because I feel like they made the poster look really, like... I don't know, like 80s looking. But it's about this girl who finds a little spider in her apartment, and then it, like, gets bigger. It's like a creature feature. I mean, it's doing really well on Rotten Tomatoes, and people are saying that it's, like, well done, so... I like the red writing. I don't know, it looks good, okay? Listen, I don't like spiders, but I think that's why I would like the horror movie, because it's a creepy spider. Anyways, I'm basically forcing Ty to go with me because he has arachnophobia.
Well, Luca doesn't like horror movies either, just because he thinks they're stupid. But, like, we both agree that any movie that is, like, has to do with exorcisms, demons, the devil, that kind of thing, like, we just avoid it because it's too real.
What is with, in the past, I would say 5 years. What is with the religious horror movies?
Also, Luca showed me this thing on Twitter that he came across. And you know how, like, you can ask AI to be like, oh, what is this? What is that? And it, like, forms, like, a video or something of whatever.
Yeah.
Somebody asked, like, what does hell look like? Oh, my God. The AI video of it, pretty accurate, I'd say.
Oh, you know?
No, like, I think, like, that would be what hell looked like. We were both kind of, like, in shock after. It's kind of morbid, like, because it seems like AI is like this whole other being, you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of its own
kind of is
thing.
Yeah.
So for it to like create this thing and for it to look so scary and so morbid and just because it's deriving whatever it's read from the Bible, right?
Yeah.
What is hell? And then creating this thing based on whatever the Bible says. It was scary.
Yeah, it's pretty
it was
creepy.
Very scary. Then it just made me feel like, oh my God, like that's happening right now somewhere.
Yeah.
Like that's happening now. Just like heaven is happening now. I'm sorry, I don't want to make it dark. But it's like, but it's true though. Do you ever think about that? Like people who have lived and died on this earth are in one of like.
But like you say right now, but I feel like time
I know,
has a different.
I know, but
time is not as we think it is, you know?
It is existing now. It exists now. It's happening now.
Sure.
Do you ever think about that?
Yeah, sometimes.
Does it freak you out?
I mean, the whole idea of death freaks me out in general. Like, I know we're going to heaven and, like, that's something to look forward to. But the idea of all of a sudden we don't exist here on Earth anymore, like, it freaks me out. Like, at any moment, like, life as we know it here is over. Like, that. Death has always really messed with me. And I think that's why I have so much health anxiety and stuff, too. Because it scares me so much.
Aw.
Yeah.
Sorry to hear that.
Well, I guess it's just because, like, and I know you're supposed to be, like, happy in heaven and you don't really have those worries, but, like, you know, I don't want to, like, leave my family and, like, you know what I mean? Like,
when you have a kid, it's a whole nother level of I can't die.
Yeah.
Like, I actually can't. I had a panic attack last night. And the whole time I was thinking, I can't die like this. I cannot die like this. Like, she's going to wake up in a couple hours to eat, and I cannot die right now.
It's, like, inconvenient.
My heart was racing. I couldn't catch my breath.
Yeah.
And I just felt like, what if I have a heart attack right now or something? She needs me, and I want to see her grow up and whatever. Like, there's things I want to do still. And about her, though.
Yeah.
It adds a whole other level of anxiety about death.
I bet.
Now I have a kid, and I just can't die yet.
And you won't. So relax.
No, but, like, you're saying that you have anxiety around death.
I know.
But, like, that's a whole other level of, like, well, shit, like, I can't die, though, because I have a kid, and they need me.
Yeah, I think that about, like, Tumnus and Winnie. I'm like, if I die, like, Tumnus is not going to have someone to snuggle with, because I always read in bed, and, like, he'll, like, snuggle with me, and he expects it. At, like, 6 p.m. or 5 p.m., he expects, like, that's the time.
That's the routine.
Yeah. And so I'm always like, well, if I died, like, he'd just be on the bed, like, where's mom? So, like, I think of that. It's not a kid, but, like, I think of it similarly.
Yeah. Something that I wish that I had done after watching that AI video of hell is, like, AI of heaven.
Yeah, why didn't you
do that?
Add some positivity.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's scary.
It's really scary. We just kind of stumbled upon it.
Yeah. Okay, so this is kind of in the news right now. A woman has been denied a job after showing up to an interview makeup free. So the question is, if a man doesn't have to wear makeup at a job, why should women? People say that, like, if you show up with no makeup on, you kind of look unkempt, is, like, kind of the general consensus from people. You look tired. You look like you don't care about your appearance. You didn't make an effort. So the question is, like, did this job have the right to...
No.
I agree. But a lot of people don't. The internet's pretty split.
For me, it's like, did you look nice? Did you dress up?
Her hair was done and she had a...
Did you brush your hair?
Yeah.
Did you put it together a nice outfit to look together?
Yeah.
I don't think makeup... I have friends that don't even wear makeup.
Yeah.
And they look fine.
Yeah.
Some people don't even need it.
I totally agree. But, yeah.
Also, what job are you going for?
I have no idea what it was. Why?
Because if it's the beauty industry...
Right. I guess it depends on what you're doing. That's true. Yeah. Anything in, like...
If it has something to do with...
Beauty.
beauty or
even sometimes the service industry, they expect you, and it's wrong, but they expect you to look appealing to the customers.
Well, we talked about this when I worked at Moxie's. They forced us to wear heels and short, tight skirts.
So I can see, like, I don't know where she was going for, but I can see if she walked into like a restaurant, let's say, and she wasn't put together on her face,
well, because
they might have been like, well, why are you here?
Hostessing and waitressing, you're supposed to like be pleasant to.
It's so stupid, but
yeah.
So that could have been it. I don't know what the circumstances
it's just like,
were.
Real estate agents always look dressed up to the nines.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
Hair done, makeup done, outfit, like look expensive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's something about it that just attracts people. I don't know.
Like I could see, like, if you work like a desk job, it really doesn't matter.
Work.
If you work like in a creative field, like where you're just hands-on all day, why does it really matter? Especially if you're working like construction or something. Why do you need makeup? That's so stupid. So I can see how maybe it just depends on where you're going. As dumb as it is, I can see why they would have denied her if it was something like significant. Not that it's right, but
no,
that could have happened.
It's unfortunately, that's just the way the cookie crumbles.
Yeah.
I love that saying.
I mean, like, I don't want to wear makeup, but if I don't,
oh my god, when we were wearing masks for COVID,
Me
I
either.
think for a whole year I never wore
Me
makeup.
either.
It was great.
Yeah.
My skin never felt better.
But honestly, guys, like, if I came into the next podcast with no makeup on, I look sick. Like, I look sickly. Like, I have huge under eye bags. They're just natural. I've always had them. I have blemishes everywhere. Like, and that's natural. But, like, people are so accustomed to seeing people in makeup that you guys would comment, like, are you okay? And that's just how society is.
No, it happens all the time. Whenever I haven't worn makeup to other people, it's like, are you sick? Are you tired? You look really tired today.
Yeah.
Nana, whenever I see Nana and I don't have makeup on, she goes, you look really pale. Are you okay? Are you feeling okay? Like, because you look pale. You okay? And I'm like, no, I'm just pale, Nana.
I'm just not wearing makeup.
I'm just white. Really white.
Yeah.
And when I don't, like, really cake on the blush and the contour, I look like a ghost.
Yeah, like
Nana?
If I went to an interview with no makeup on, I feel like I would leave and they'd be like, there was something wrong with her.
Yeah, she's sickly.
Is she on heroin? Like, I feel like they would think I was honestly, like, I have a very distressing no makeup face. Like, it's still me, but I'm purpley. Like,
Jess,
I have a lot of discoloration. I really do.
But so do I. I'm very pink.
And I'm not even hiding it. I think I'm no makeup a lot during my, like, sick vlogs that I've done on YouTube, honestly. I've posted it. So I'm not afraid to post it. I just know I look different.
Doesn't everyone?
That's all I mean, though. Society's, like, I don't know.
Some people are too good at their makeup.
Yeah. Like, I still look like me without makeup on.
Some people are a little too good.
I'm just blotchy, that's all.
Everyone is. It's fine. It's human.
Okay, so this is a viral dating app text that has been circling the internet, and it's causing people to be very torn about how they feel about it. And it poses the question, are we in an era of over-communication? So this is what the text said, and then I'll kind of bring in more context. Hey, thanks for checking in. Would you mind if we put a pin in those plans for now? Full transparency, I kind of met someone yesterday that I wasn't expecting to vibe with as much as I did, and I'd feel a bit weird going out right away with someone else. So that was the text. Okay. Here's the context. And this is like the person who received the text.
Okay.
So the date was actually the other guy's idea. He said that he had endless availability when we were scheduling. I was looking forward to it because we'd flirted on and off for a while, and the day of the date I checked in to see if plans were still on, and that was when I got this message. So many things bothered me about it. The HR professional tone, the fact that he was canceling a date that he proposed, that he let me know that he hit it off with someone else that he just met, and he implied a future date if things didn't work out with the new guy. Ultimately, I just think there are kinder and more decent ways to go about canceling a date, and I don't need all that detail before a first date. I date casually quite a bit and try to let someone down in a way that isn't so crass. That includes an occasional white lie to cushion the blow. So after you heard this, I'm going to read the original text again.
Yes, I was going to say, can you read it again?
Hey, thanks for checking in. Would you mind if we put a pin in those plans for now? Full transparency, I kind of met someone yesterday that I wasn't expecting to vibe with as much as I did, and I'd feel a bit weird going out right away with someone else. How do you feel about that?
I would just move on from that. How long has she been seeing him? Was this their first date?
They were about to go on a first date, so they've been talking for a while. Get over it?
Get over it.
But how do you think...
It's a piss off. It's a piss off.
You think?
Yes, but get over it. Be happy you didn't waste time.
Yeah, to be honest, like, when I saw this text, I was like, okay, and?
Yeah. I don't like the can we put a pin in it thing, because it's like, yeah, buddy, like, no.
Yeah.
Like you can't have your cake and eat it too, babe.
Right. Maybe don't make it sound like we'll do it later if this doesn't go well.
It's not just your decision. It's not just up to you. So if you decide that you want to go on a date with somebody else over me, then you got to live with that and realize that I'm not going to wait for you to figure it out. And that's it.
I've actually done this before when I was talking to Ty. Originally, we met on Tinder. I was also talking to other people at the same time. And after I went on my first date with Ty, I kind of knew right away that I really liked him and wanted to continue that. But I had a planned date with someone else. Mm-hmm. It was supposed to be like 2 days after Ty. And I sent him actually a really similar message. I didn't say like, we'll pin it for now. I actually ended it. But I said, like, just want to be totally honest with you. I have to cancel our date. I met someone else that I'm really vibing with, and I just want to explore that more. I'm so sorry.
No, there's nothing wrong with being transparent.
But I think what the person is saying is they'd rather them have just lied and said they didn't meet someone else. But, like, why?
No, but that's not life. Also, now that you've said this, I have done that as well to a man. But similarly to you, just like basically explaining why I can't see them anymore or why I don't want to continue. Because, yeah.
So the question is, are we in an era of over communication? Like, are people just kind of over explaining, canceling? Are they over explaining?
No, I don't think so.
I think it's just honesty.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with being
honest.
honest.
I feel like you'll never always make people happy. Like, someone will always be upset. Because it's like, you know how people also say, like, don't beat around the bush. Like, just tell me straight up. And then it's like you tell them straight up.
And then they're upset.
Either way, you were going to be disappointed, babe.
Yeah.
Either way.
That's true.
It's a shitty thing to receive no matter what. Because it kind of like is a letdown. But be happy that you didn't waste any time.
Yeah.
Move on.
Exactly.
Next.
I think the text is fine.
Thank you. Next.
Okay. There is a underwater anomaly larger than Texas spotted off the African coast. It is actually terrifying how big this thing is. Maybe I can find it to show you. We'll put it on the screen for our visual listeners. See that big black mass in the water? So when there's something under the ocean, it shows up as like a dark shape to show, and they kind of follow it around. So that's what they saw, and it was moving for 24 hours before it suddenly disappeared. And so
what could it be?
People were thinking that it could be like the biggest waves that have ever been. But they're also saying that if that was the case, there are so many boats who ship back and forth in that area who would have seen massive waves like that. People are saying it's Cthulhu.
Oh.
Which is kind of creepy.
I love that.
You were sending me TikToks once about, like, being afraid of large things, like giants and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, that freaks me out.
Yeah, same.
Especially, like, in an ocean that's so vast.
Water.
So we actually don't know what it was, which is creepy. It could be anything. It could be waves that just showed up because they were so massive, but
Cthulhu.
It's Cthulhu, or what's the guy?
Kraken.
I was gonna say, the guy from Pirates of the Caribbean.
The guy? Davy Jones?
I don't know. It's gender.
I don't think Davy Jones is that big. I was thinking the Kraken.
That's what I was thinking too. That guy.
That guy.
Mr. Kraken.
The octopus thing.
I used to want to eat Davy Jones's tentacles because they're so juicy looking.
I mean, I wanted to chew on them.
That's what I mean. It's kind of like
gnaw on them.
It's kind of like Polly Pocket clothes.
I think if you like calamari,
I do.
Davy Jones's tentacles look appealing.
He is calamari.
But that's what I mean. He is calamari, which makes me hungry. And I would cook him and eat him.
Oh my gosh. And like, they're so big that like, if you fry those up, you're getting a good bite.
You're getting such a good bite.
I will never look at that movie the same.
No, I always thought about that.
Because they like move around and they're like so juicy. Like they're
thick.
Yeah.
Thick.
And he doesn't really need them.
He uses them to like grab things.
Right, but he has hands, right?
He has
claws?
Lobster hands.
No.
Yes.
He has lobster hands?
Yes.
Those would be good too. To eat.
Oh.
We just want to eat Davy Jones. Put him in a boiling hot water and I'm there.
Let's have a lobster bake.
Yeah. For Davy Jones.
Davy Jones. Oh, we're so weird.
That sounds so good right now.
We're so weird. I love calamari.
Actually, all of his crew are sea creatures.
No, but he was the only appealing one.
Like, if you're stranded on a deserted island with Davy Jones, would you eat him?
Eat him. Yeah.
He's just sleeping and you're just slurping up.
Ew. Like ramen.
Yum.
Like ramen.
Yeah. Sleep by the fire, just push him in. That's a little chaotic.
That's a bit dark.
Psychotic.
It's a bit dark. Speaking of manic.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
So you told me the other day that Ophelia was freaking you out because she's been looking in like corners of the room and stuff. Maybe you can like
at night sometimes
talk about that a bit, because I have some like creepy things that parents have witnessed their kids doing.
Oh, that sounds fun. No, it's just as simple as she's very aware, and when you're in front of her, like, she sees you, she smiles at you, she interacts with you, she even acknowledges Allie now. So she's very aware.
Yeah.
When you show her books, she's looking at the books. She's touching, like, all of the textured toys, like, everything. And recently, she started fixating on things. And the worst part is, there are moments where she will look above me.
Ugh.
Yeah, she does that a lot. Where she has already acknowledged me, and then all of a sudden, her fixation is above me. And I'm like down here. And then there are times, like, at night when I'm putting her to bed and stuff, and we're in, like, my dark room, she'll, like, turn her head all the way to look at something, and it's, like, the dark corner, and there's nothing there.
That would scare me.
Or there have been times when she's followed something that's not there, and I'm like, girl, stop it.
I mean, our dogs do that a lot.
Oh, there was something that happened really scary.
What?
Luca wasn't home. It was nighttime. And so I put her on the baby rocker. So it's like a seat that rocks.
Yeah.
So I put her on there when I'm, like, changing for bed or, like, getting ready for bed or whatever, and I can't, like, hold her or whatever. But she wants to see me. Like, she wants to be there with me. So I put her in the hallway facing the room that I was changing in. But to her left was the bathroom.
Okay.
And it was dark, and there was nothing in there, and she's on the floor, like, on the rocker, so there's nothing to be seen. There's no mirror, there's nothing to be seen. Just the dark bathroom. And she kept looking over to the left, and then started crying and staring, like something was scaring her. Like, scaring her so bad. So I moved her, and she still reached her little neck to look, and, like, was scared and crying, and I'm like, girl, stop. And I look in the bathroom and I'm thinking, like, is she scared of the garbage pail? Because that's all she could see, and it's just dark. That freaked me out. That really freaked me out.
Scary.
To see, because, you know, when kids, like, get scared, you could see it in their eyes that they're afraid, and, like, she was fixated on that thing and crying and facing it, and, like, I was like, what the
I read this book where, like, your shadow was a separate entity from you. Like, it kind of had its own personality, and you have to, like, deserve a shadow. So not everyone has one.
Peter Pan.
It's kind of like Peter Pan. And it's weird because, like, if there's two people living in a house, sometimes the shadows don't get along and they fight each other. And so you can't live with that person anymore because your shadow's, like, a totally different entity. And, like, sometimes, like, if you go to sleep... Oh, wait, it's not their shadow. Well, it is like a shadow, but it's called your sleep. So it's, like... the sleep version of you that appears as a shadow. And so if you have a sleep, it, like, sleeps for you so you can, like, get more done during the day. And if you don't have a sleep, like, you have to sleep like normal humans do. It's actually really hard to explain, but sometimes people's sleeps would go in the middle of the night and would, like, turn on, like, the music and would start, like, humming to the music, and, like,
Ew.
It's really interesting. And they would, like, you know, move things around the house. They're almost like a poltergeist, but they're called your sleep. And it's so weird. So once you have one, like, you don't need to sleep anymore because they do it for you. It's so weird. It's so hard to explain.
I'm so lost.
Okay.
Started off with shadows, and then it became sleeps, and then
it's kind of like a shadow. It looks like a shadow in the illustrations.
Humans need sleep. Period. Nobody just doesn't sleep.
Well, it's like a sci-fi book. Anyway.
Oh, okay. It's, like, not true.
No. What do you mean? How would that be true? Okay. So here are some creepy things that kids have said to their parents.
Okay.
I was tucking in my 2-year-old, and he said, "Goodbye, Dad." And I said, "No, we say goodnight." And he said, "I know, but this time it's goodbye."
Aw.
I had to check on him a few times to make sure he was still there. That would be alarming. Like when Ophelia can talk and she's like, "No, it's goodbye this time."
I would just be like, she's just a kid. Like, I'd be like,
she doesn't know what she means.
I'd be like, okay, you're being silly. Stop it.
While changing my daughter in front of the open closet door,
Oh, God.
she kept looking around me and laughing. I asked her what was so funny, and she said, "The man." To which I replied, "What man?" She then pointed at the closet and said, "The man with the snake neck." I turned around and nothing was there. I'm afraid to look into the history of my house to see if anyone hung themselves in the closet. At least she wasn't scared about it. The man with the snake neck, I guess like a noose.
The snake neck is like, his neck is like...
Messed up.
Yeah.
Okay, this next one. Daddy sleep. Then pushing my head under at the pool.
Wait, what? What? Wait, daddy sleep?
This kid said, "Daddy sleep," and then pushed his head under the water in the pool. You're just laughing?
Funny. She's a murderer.
My son was cuddling with his grandmother and being very sweet. He's about 3. He takes her face in his hands and brings his face close to hers. Then he tells her that she's very old and will die soon. Then he makes a point of looking at the clock.
That's so funny. That's so cute.
You just find these funny?
That's so cute. No, because kids are so funny. The little things they say and do are so funny.
And they're so honest.
So honest.
Because they don't really know what lying is when they're that little yet. So, like, they'll tell you how you, like...
Oh, yeah.
If she calls me ugly or something, I'll be like, oh.
No. She's so sweet. I think she sees beauty in everybody.
I hope so.
I think she does.
Yeah.
Her face, like, just lights up when she sees you.
Oh, I know. I miss her. My childhood friend recently found his journal from when he was about 6 or 7. One entry said something along the lines of, "Sometimes mommy gardens. Sometimes daddy works inside the house. When daddy thinks I'm with mommy and mommy thinks I'm with daddy, sometimes I like to go into the neighbor's garage and play with their dangerous tools."
Dangerous.
Like a saw?
That's a big word for Elmo.
What?
Dangerous. The word dangerous for a kid to write in their journal.
Why is that
That's a big word for Elmo.
Why for Elmo?
It's a meme. You've never heard that?
No.
It's a big word for Elmo. He's like cooking and then he's like balsamic vinegar and then he's like, that's a big word for Elmo.
Aw, he's very self-aware.
He is. He was like on a talk show and they were cooking and Elmo was like teaching them how to cook something and he was like, salt, pepper, balsamic vinegar. That's a big word for Elmo. So now I'm like, that's a big word for Elmo.
Are you saying Elmo weird?
Elmo.
Say it again.
Elmo.
You're saying Elmo.
Elmo.
You say it like it's EWMO. Elmo.
No, I don't. Elmo.
You're doing it.
Elmo.
Now you're doing it properly, but because you're really trying.
No, I think
I
it's because
swear
every
you were
time-
saying Elmo.
No, I think every time I say Elmo,
You're saying it again. Elmo.
every time I say Elmo,
Elmo.
I smile though. That's why.
Elmo.
That's why.
Okay.
It's a big word for Elmo.
Elmo. My 5-year-old son asked me last week, "What do you see through the black circles in my eyes when you're controlling me when I'm at school?" Why is this funny to you? Oh my gosh. Ophelia's going to tell you the most disturbing things and you're just going to start laughing.
Because I'd be like, why do you think that? Why do you think I control you at school? I want to know what the response is.
I cut my foot on a piece of broken glass and my kid, who was 5 at the time, said, "Don't clean it up. I can use your blood for painting."
No. I would be like, no, babe. No.
That's like the start of like serial killer stuff.
I'd be like, no, that's wrong. Don't do that. You can't do
What
that.
if they're like with the biggest smile on their face? You just be
I'd
like,
be
no.
like, babe, no. That's not okay. That's mommy's blood. You don't want mommy's blood.
Yeah.
That's
like
gross. I'd be like, that's gross. You don't want that.
Yeah, that's like intro to murder. That's like what they
Or
start with.
witchcraft.
One of the two. They're not closely
Witchcraft.
related, but
Witchcraft and murder? They can be related.
people are going to come for you, and you don't want witches coming for you.
Whoa, I definitely don't.
So maybe they're not related.
Sometimes they are.
No.
What kind of witch are you? Are you a good witch
Okay,
or are you a
fine.
bad witch?
Fine. What is this, Wizard of Oz?
Well, that's the
Are you a
truth.
good
But
witch
even
or
a
a bad
witch,
witch?
even a witch can acknowledge that there's black magic.
So you're talking about black magic.
What else would it be if it's causing murder, Jess?
Exactly.
Is a good witch causing murder?
No, I'm just saying you said witch in general. I'm
I
just saying
said
people might be
witchcraft.
offended.
I said witchcraft.
Listen, I don't like witchcraft.
Even a witch can admit that some witchcraft involves blood.
I know that.
But why are the witches coming
It
for me
doesn't
then?
always mean there's murder.
Also, I have Jesus on my side. Babe, I'm gonna be fine. But come for Jess if you want to.
No, I have enough
Go
going
for
on.
Jess.
I have enough going on in my life. I'm probably already cursed. When my daughter was 3, she came home from preschool one day, and her demeanor changed the minute we came home. She became very withdrawn and looked very upset. I asked her what was wrong, and she said, "The angel on the roof is angry with us."
Weird.
Yeah, really weird. It's creepy.
Maybe she, like, saw a dove on the roof or something.
Or like a gargoyle. I don't know what house they'd be living in where there'd be gargoyles on the side. Maybe something old in England. Do you know what a gargoyle is?
Yes. Oh my god, Jess.
You were looking at me like you had no idea what I was talking about. My adorably innocent 3-year-old... My adorably innocent 3-year-old once lovingly told me, "Mommy, when you die, I'm going to keep your body so I can pet your hair." He was petting my hair at the very moment he said it.
Aw, that's sweet.
Oh my gosh, Mandii. There's going to be nothing Ophelia can tell you.
Kids are cute. I love what they say.
So if she says, "Mommy, I see dead people," you're going to be like, "Oh, that's cute.
I would want to know, what do you mean? Elaborate.
Tell me more."
Yeah.
So you just be
I'm always going to
totally-
listen to her.
Yeah.
I'm always going to listen to her. And even if she's speaking, like, nonsense, I'm going to be, like, there to listen.
Just keep going. The
I
delusions.
just want her to always want to tell me things. Like, I want her to be excited to talk to me.
What if she has, like, an imaginary friend?
I won't like that.
So you have boundaries.
Definitely.
So she's like Mr.
I'm not going to enable psychosis.
Mr. Prickly Face hangs out with me every day. You'd be like, "Stop.
Yeah.
No more."
It would freak me out. Yeah. I'd be like, please don't. Don't. I'd be like, don't.
Okay.
I'd be like, Mr. Prickly Face isn't here.
That makes it sound like it's a man with a beard who's like snuck in the house. Mr. Prickly Face?
Groom your beard, babe.
That's what you're worried about?
Like, groom it. Why is it prickly?
Well, because all beards are prickly.
Can you imagine, like, think about, like, being a man and having your beard growing in after shaving it. Don't you think it'd be itchy?
I think it is itchy for people.
That sucks.
But isn't there like beard balm?
yeah.
But you don't put it on until there's hair there.
Yeah.
Otherwise you're just greasy.
Beard balm.
Because then you're just wet
Yeah.
and shiny.
Yeah.
But maybe that would help. But also, if you moisturize your face, I think it would be less prickly.
But when it is coming in, like sharp shards coming out of your skin.
I like shave my mustache.
Shave it? That's really bad. It'll come
Not
back.
so. You know those little like things that you kind of, what's it called?
So
It's
it'll
like a
come back.
cosmetic brush.
So now it'll just come back like thicker and thicker every time.
No, I've been doing this for like 15 years. It's not that bad. Are you seeing hair on me right now?
No.
Okay.
I never really have, I don't think.
You don't get lip hair?
No. Do I?
I'm sure you do.
Can you
Come
look?
here. You actually don't. You might be able to see some of mine coming in.
Okay, I see like 2.
Yeah, they're black.
They're black.
They're black. I think we just lost our mic power. Okay, we have to stop because once we get to this point, there's just nothing happening.
What I did notice when I was pregnant, though, was I started getting hair over here.
Oh, so you got a beard.
Like a beard, yeah.
Well, that's better. Did you use beard balm?
I didn't do anything because I heard that if you shave it, it just comes back thicker.
I don't think it keeps getting thicker. I think the one time you do it, that's
come
the
back
new
thicker.
normal. Because
Yeah.
if that was the case, I've been doing this for 15 years. I would have like pencil radius hairs. Like they'd be so thick.
Okay, so if we're finishing up now, I want to see if I can find the hell video, and then I'm going to show you it to you on
Okay.
camera here. Yeah, this is it.
Are we really ending with hell? It's like... Mandii. It's like Anakin Skywalker. After getting burned.
Doesn't that look like what it would be?
That is brutal.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to be there, so...
Wait, let me see if I can find what would have happened.
Okay, anyways, we're going to end the podcast. Don't forget, if you want to hear about Mandi's werewolf friends,
Oh, Lord.
we're going to be putting that on Patreon. So yeah, I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your week, and we'll see you in our next podcast. Bye.
Bye, guys.